Welcome to the Far Out. In this segment, we are going to talk about India's qualification. Qualification in the literal form of the word. That is the teams in Asia it needs to beat in order to get its foot in the door to play in the FIFA World Cup. First, let's have a look at all the 6 confederations with direct qualifications and qualifications through playoffs allocated by FIFA for each of them. The numbers of direct qualifiers are shown in green, whereas those for the playoffs in red. For instance, in the Asian Confederation AFC, 4 teams can qualify directly and 1 can qualify through intercontinental playoffs. Notice how the European and African confederations have direct qualifications only, and how the Oceania Confederation has only 1 intercontinental playoff spot. If we add up all the direct qualifiers and those through intercontinental playoffs, we get a total of 31 teams. Now, of course, the 32nd team is the host nation, which qualifies automatically. Up until 2002, along with the host nation, the reigning champions could qualify directly as well. France was the last team to do so, when they qualified directly to the 2002 World Cup in South Korea and Japan. The AFC qualifiers are conducted through multiple rounds. The direct qualifiers and those playing the intercontinental playoffs are determined at the end of round 3. India's qualification record is dismal to say the least. Of course, barring the World Cups in 1950 and 1954, for which we have made this video. Do check it out. India has failed to go beyond round 1 for any of the previous qualifiers. The only time they got close was in 2002, where they missed out by a single point. Now in 2026, for the World Cup in the United States, FIFA is expanding the tournament to 48 teams instead of 32. Again, the numbers of direct qualifiers are shown in green, whereas those for the playoffs in red. Notice how direct qualifiers for the Asian Confederation are 8 instead of 4. That is, we will have twice the number of Asian teams at the World Cup. We see few similar changes for other confederations. So this helps the odds for India. However, we need to be among the top 8 teams in Asia, which we are not today. Now after 2026, will FIFA continue with the 48 team format or will it revert back to the 32 team one? Only time will tell. However, for the sake of this video, we'll pretend it will continue with the 48 team format. Today, the Asian Football Confederation has 47 members, out of which 8 can directly qualify to the World Cup in 2026. That is, 1 out of 6 teams can qualify directly. The odds of qualification for any team from Asia have never been so high, which means every team in Asia can dream of a World Cup berth, including India. But that's wishful thinking, as it is not a level playing field. There are of course few teams which dominate in the region. Here are the 5 usual suspects. First up, we got Iran, probably the Asian team to watch out right now. Their rise in the last few years has been remarkable. The trio of South Korea, Japan and Australia each have players in the squad who play in leagues across the world. Ever since the inclusion of Australia in Asian Confederation in 2006, all 3 of them have qualified for the World Cup every time. In fact, South Korea has qualified for the 10th consecutive time, which is a record for an Asian team. Prior to 2006, Australia was part of the OFC or the Oceania Confederation, where they steamrolled the opposition but had to play the intercontinental playoffs in order to qualify. After moving to the Asian Confederation, they have an opportunity to qualify directly too. Last but not the least, Saudi Arabia is one of those teams which is always at the business end of qualifying stages in Asia. Other teams from Asia who have qualified for the World Cup in the past are North Korea, Iraq, UAE, Kuwait and China. Israel, which played in the 1970 World Cup, is not on that list, as it is part of the European Confederation now. This December, Qatar will be joining them after having qualified directly as tournament hosts. Way back in 1938, Indonesia was the first team from Asia to qualify for the World Cup. However, they were a Dutch colony back then, the Dutch East Indies. They have failed to leave a mark as a football team in Asia ever since. Other teams in the region that we need to mention are Oman, Syria, Jordan, Bahrain, Vietnam and a couple of others, which are at the moment ranked above India in FIFA rankings. At the time of making this video, as per FIFA rankings, India is ranked 104th in the world and 19th in Asia. For qualification in the 2026 World Cup and the World Cups to follow, India has its work cut out. Finish among the 8 teams from the region to qualify directly. Now FIFA along with AFC are still deciding upon the format of the Asian qualifiers, but here are a few ideas how it might look like. Firstly, they might go with 8 groups of 6 teams each, with the group winner qualifying directly to the finals. The teams which finish second, or let's say the best 4 second place teams, playing a 2-leg knockout format to determine who plays in the Intercontinental Playoff. This is very similar to what the European qualifiers look like today. And I'm of the opinion that they should choose this format. Just imagine what would that mean for every team in the region. That it would be East, West, South, Southeast or Central Asia. There's no first round, second round and third round drama. You play 10 games, 5 home, 5 away, where you get to prove your worth. And if you are good enough to end up on top of your table, you go directly to the World Cup. As simple as that. Secondly, they might go with 6 groups of 8 teams each, with the group winner qualifying directly to the finals. The teams which finish second, or let's say the best 4 second place teams, playing a 2-leg knockout format to determine who fills up the remaining 2 spots, whereas the losing semi-finalists play a 2-leg knockout to determine who plays in the Intercontinental Playoff. Not a big fan of this one. Every team will end up playing 14 games, 7 home and 7 away. Talk about the administrative and logistical nightmare associated with it. Plus, it will make qualification complicated for teams who are trying to punch above their weight. Lastly, they might go with something entirely left field. Maybe stick with the current Asian qualification round. Guess we'll eventually find out. So that wraps up this segment. Hope you liked it. Let us know in the comments below if you missed out on something about India's qualification woes. We are going to talk about our football history of other nations, do some introspection along the way as a footballing nation, and most importantly, what India can do to finally get our time in the sun at the biggest sporting event of them all.